Hello, my friends. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face and my card make it space. And a couple cards using a newer collection from Spellbinders. I think it came out like last month. And then an older collection that I purchased, I think come from a year or so ago. I forget. I'll have everything linked, like I always do, in the description box below the video, along with everything else I used. My links are affiliate links. That just means that if you click on one of my links and end up placing an order, I do get a little kickback from that at no extra cost to you. That's what helps. Keeps the lights on, pays the bills, enables me to keep bringing out content. And yeah, die cutting and layered stencils, embossing folders, ink blending, splatter, all the fun things. So yeah, and there's a little mushroom tucked in there. When you see the collection, you'll know why I purchased it. So anywho, without further ado, let's get into making these cards. So this first die set that I am using is from the newer Poppy Song collection. And this is the Leaf and Bloom etched dies. And I die cut them multiple times from Dahlia and Wildberry cardstock for the actual blooms. The flower centers I die cut from beeswax cardstock, and then the greenery was fern cardstock. And all the cardstock is Spellbinders COLORWHEEL cardstock. So good. I'm really loving their cardstock. It's delicious, but don't actually eat it, you know? Anyway, I stuck my die cut pieces just to a grip mat. And then I'm using just a variety of Concord 9th inks to add just extra dimension. And I'm using right now I'm using Spellbinders mini blending brushes. And I'm using watermelon, honeysuckle, and then berry kiss. Berry kiss being one of the new Concord 9th colors, inks for these florals. And like I always say, this looks darker than it's going to soften as it dries and fade back quite a bit, especially on color cardstock. So it's going to be a lot more subtle. So if you want like more definition on color cardstock, you will generally have to go quite a bit darker with your colors. On the flower centers, I used Buttercup ink and then just a little bit of Stardust and the little teeny blending brushes. So once I got the florals and the flower centers blended, remove all those from my grip mat, and then I'll wipe my grip mat down to get all the pink and yellow inks off of it, and then I'll stick all of my greenery pieces to the grip mat because again I want to add ink just to add that little extra depth and dimension. So for the greenery I started with avocado, and again this looks quite dark. When the ink is wet, when it's fresh, the moisture makes everything look dark. It will dry back significantly. So the avocado was just more to like prime the cardstock, and then I went in with artichoke, which is darker, and slapped all that ink on there. Once these are all inked up, same thing. Remove them from my grip mat, wipe everything down, and then I'm going to assemble all these little flowers, which a set like this is ridiculously easy. This isn't like a multi-layered, set where you need a layering guide or anything like that. You just got to look at the packaging and it's like, oh yeah, this goes here, etc. And then there is like little etch lines in the flowers themselves for each of the flower centers because there's 3 different shapes. And once you lay everything out, it's like it just makes sense. So the etch lines are there. Everything just makes sense. I love all types of wafer dies, and I love the ones that all the layers and they build dimension and scenes and all the things. But sometimes it's really nice having ones that are just simple. Like these were just simple. I didn't have to think. I like that. So use my little wax pickup tool. I showed that set in a recent video. Spellbinders released a little handy craft tool set. I'm liking them. So use my little wax pickup tool to pick up the little pieces, press them down, specifically the flower centers. And once all of these guys were assembled, I'm going to set them aside and then go on to the background of one of my cards, which my card base is, did I do blush cardstock for this? No, I think I did chiffon. Yeah, I did chiffon. So my card base is chiffon cardstock. Top folding A2 note card, 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And I have the card base stuck to my sticky mat or my grit mat. And I put Post-it tape right at the score line so I don't get any ink past that. And then this stencil set is part of the Poppy Song collection. This is the Petal Burst layered stencil set. And I started with pink lemonade ink. And for the like single color, like laying it down quickly, I used the Spellbinders large blending brushes. These things are enormous. They're enormous. I've got a handful of them. And when I want to put like just color down, you know, they're great for that. You can also get a really soft blend with them because they're huge. I was kind of surprised when I got my first set of them, and then I was like, I need some more. Anyway, I used the large ones to just slap on that color. And then before removing the stencil, I went in with a shade darker, which was watermelon ink. And I just used one of the mini blending brushes. And I'm keeping that color more towards where the flower centers are. These stencils look a little weird the way each layer is, but when you look at like the finished image, it makes sense where the flower centers are. Like, these are just doing several petals at a time sort of a thing. So I kept the darker shade concentrated towards where the flower centers are going to be and then just let it fade out. So I just repeated this process 3 times because there's 3 different stencils that build the like the main petals. The next part will make sense in a second. So slap on the main color with the big blending brush, which was my pink lemonade shade, and then go in with the watermelon shade and then the smaller blending brush just to give it that extra bit of depth. And yeah, I've been doing this more lately, is layering stencils or just ink blending, stenciling, etc. in general, like on color cardstock instead of white. It's always my knee-jerk reaction to do stuff like this, like on white cardstock, and it looks fabulous on white. But I've been pulling out more of my color cardstock because it's just fun. It's so fun. So these last 2 layers, or these next 2 layers, do like the edges of all the petals. And for that, I use another just big blending brush and the watermelon ink. Slap that on, just covered it. And then while the stencil's still in place, I went in with a shade darker, which is honeysuckle, and a smaller blending brush. And just, again, really light hand, just to give it that little extra bit. And yeah, as it all comes together, as always, because everything always looks like kind of a hot mess until, you remove the stencil and it's just like, oh, so good. It's so good. So this one finishes off the edges of the petals. So watermelon ink with the big brush, and then went in with honeysuckle ink and the smaller brush, and just light hand, just adding that little bit here and there. And then once that's in place, the final stencil does the flower centers. And for that, I just used the Buttercup ink, which shows up really nicely on this chiffon cardstock. Chiffon cardstock is just such a pretty color. So got that laid out and then filled in the flower centers. And this is going to give the pattern to this card. And then for my second card, I used the Favorite Song 3D embossing folder that's part of the Poppy Song collection. And I ran that through with the same like chiffon cardstock. And so pretty. Oh, and I like that Spellbinders, like the size of Spellbinders embossing folders. So if you do larger cards, you've got like that option. So I'd run that through. And then just to emphasize the raised detail, I just took another one of like the large blending brush, and I was using that pink lemonade ink. I'm not worried about the center. I'm like the splotchiness in the center. That's going to get covered up. It's irrelevant. So I was using a fairly light hand so that it was more of just the raised areas that were picking up that ink, and it just brings it out, makes it a little more obvious because again, it's just a really pretty like detail. So blended that onto that panel. And then this is part of the collection that I had bought whenever this came out. I don't remember when that little what was it called? Jump for Joy. Yeah, was the Jump for Joy Froggy Fun. That little bundle came out a year or two ago. I don't remember. It's still available. I'll have links. But yeah, I had bought it. I've had it sitting here for forever. So I finally pulled him out and used him because he's so cute. So the Froggy, I die cut from Peridot cardstock. I use Peridot and I use a little scrap of fern for his little tummy. I use the same beeswax cardstock for the little crown. And then that little mushroom, I had used the chiffon cardstock, the dahlia cardstock, and then the stem and the underside, I used alabaster. And then for the frog, I blended lemongrass and parsley ink, and then added like a bit of the, I think it was the avocado or the artichoke, one of them, to the little darker like belly piece. And then the crown, I used the same like buttercup and stardust. And then on the mushroom, I was using those same pinks. So pink lemonade, watermelon. Yeah, pink lemonade, a bit of watermelon. And then I went in with like honeysuckle and berry kiss on the darker pink pieces. And just adding definition. There is more little dyes in that set as well. There's a little coneflower dye and some little greenery in bits, but I didn't use those dyes because I have all the greenery and the little poppies that I had die cut that I'm gonna use to build my little scene. So once I've got all of my pieces blended to give all that extra definition, I'm going to assemble my little froggy and this little mushroom, and y'all, it's just so ridiculously cute. So this one again, don't really need a layering guide. It's pretty obvious from the packaging what goes where. So just using liquid glue. For his eyes, I die cut just the classic white and the Raven cardstocks for that. If you wanted to make them look extra derpy, you could use little like googly eyes. I thought about it, but I had already done the die cutting. I was like, nah, this is fine. So adhered those into place, and like as it all comes together, he just is cute. I don't know what it is with my thing, like mushrooms, and then I don't know, frogs. Frogs are now the newer little bit of an obsession. I don't know why. I think just because they're cute. So assembling all these little pieces into, to create my little scene. So got those adhered together, and then this little mushroom is just also adorable. Get the top on, and then the stem just layers on, and then that funny little like frilly piece is just the detail. There's obviously a scientific name for it. I have no idea. I was like, that bit, y'all. If you want like the more accurate descriptions of like, especially flowers, things like that, that's where JC Gaspar is phenomenal. He knows those things. I'm just like, oh no, it's a pretty pink flower. Anyway, assembling him, having him sit on his little mushroom. I'm not sure if there's a little die cut or if you just cut it like scrap cardstock to back like the lower portion of that crown. I noticed it on the packaging. I was like, oh, there's like a different color behind there. I didn't even bother. I just left it as is. I thought it was cute. So anywho, he was assembled. And then to frame my images, I used the Playful Stitched Panels Etched dies. I love the that like playful edge, and then there's like stitching detail all around the perimeter. And I die cut a larger piece with vellum, and then a smaller piece from that same chiffon cardstock, layered those together, and then stuck them to my background. And I did the exact same thing on the other card. I didn't even bother filming that because it was the same. I just didn't add the frog and the mushroom to the other card, which we'll get to in a minute. So then for this one, after I adhered my vellum and smaller piece from the chiffon, now I'm like assembling all of my scene with the greenery and the florals from the Leaf and Bloom etched die set. Just kind of tucking them in here and there. And I'm going to tuck my little mushroom and my little froggy into place. And yeah, I had a lot of fun making these cards. So once I'm kind of happy with where everything's going, now I can adhere my little froggy on his little mushroom, and then tuck in that final little flower here. So once I get this into place, I'm going to take my white gel pen to add highlights, little dots, little lines. It just adds extra definition. I'm not following any sort of like light source theory, anything like that. I almost never do, because not that it's a bad thing. I just don't bother. I just don't think about it. I'm just like, I just add little dots and little highlights wherever. It just gives it a little extra something. So the flower centers, the flowers, the froggy, and the mushroom. I didn't bother adding any to like the stems or the leaves or anything like that, because we'll get to that. So on the other card base, I had already adhered. I did the vellum and the smaller piece with those same Playful stitched panels. Adhered my flowers and greenery. For my sentiments, I'm using the Jump for Joy sentiment set that is part of that little Froggy collection. And I took the two sentiments and lined them up on this card front. And then using my MISTI, I'm going to stamp these with some VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. And just getting that stamped. Love it. And then once those are in place, I'd also done the white gel pen highlights on those flowers. I stamped another sentiment from that set onto a scrap of the chiffon cardstock. And that I'm going to die cut with the smallest of the Essential Stylish Ovals wafer dies, because that'll go on the Froggy card. And then I added Splatter. And after it was all done, I realized I hadn't been filming. I thought I pressed the button, but I guess I didn't, because, I'm a professional. So I'd left the stamps in place. I'd cleaned the stamps. I left them in place so that masked off the sentiments so I could splatter without wrecking the sentiments. And then for the splatter, I used Spellbinders Splatter White Opaque Watercolor. I just put it on a palette, mixed it with a little bit of water, splattered it. And then the black splatter was Hero Art's Black Acrylic Speckle. And did all that with my little fan brush like I show in most of my other videos. And then let all that splatter dry. And then I had my die cut little flowers. I had 2 extras for each of these cards and just adhered them to the inside to give the insides of the cards a little extra something. And then my die cut sentiment I popped into place on my little Froggy card. And as my last little bit of embellishment, I pulled out some Sunburst stickles and very lightly applied it to the crown and the flower centers, and that's it. And I was, again, very light-handed, so it dries quickly, but also avoiding anywhere where I put the white gel pen, because sometimes things like stickles, glossy accents can actually dissolve white gel pen. So I just applied it really lightly, just for that little hit, little hints of extra sparkle. Let that dry, and these cards are complete. So we've got little florals and a little froggy and a little bit of shimmer, a little bit of splatter, all the fun things. So like I mentioned in the beginning, I will have links to everything I used in the description box below the video. So if you just expand the description box, it'll all be there, along with like a link to a visual supply list, a little easier to navigate, all the things. So that'll all be below. Thank you all so very much for hanging out with me, for thumbs upping and commenting. It helps a ton. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all very soon in the next video. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!